Hey everyone, off the Mike Sports Network here. I talked about this in regards to the Ohio State perspective of this, but Chip Kelly is back in the NFL. He is now the offensive coordinator of the Las Vegas Raiders, a massive hire for the Raiders to and Pete Carroll. And they already had Patrick Graham, I think, the defensive coordinator. They were able to keep him on staff in uh, in uh, in Las Vegas. So listen, I gotta say this. The Raiders have had a damn good offseason already. They've had a damn good offseason. And we'll see who they can bring in potentially and who they maybe draft a quarterback or if they bring in a quarterback or something like that or how they do that. I gotta tell you, I said this when Pete Carroll got hired. I thought that was one of the best hires of the entire offseason of this coaching cycle. We still have to figure out who the Saints are gonna hire. That's the only coaching vacancy left on the board in the NFL. I think they're waiting for Kellen Moore, but now you've got Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly on the same staff. Both have won national championships in college. Both have competed for national championships in college. They've competed against each other. And now you've got, I mean, Chip Kelly has not been the greatest success in the NFL as a head coach. As an offense, we saw what he did as a play caller at Ohio State this year. Now he's the offensive coordinator with Pete Carroll. This is seriously, the Raiders have done really, really well. Um, John Spytek, and you obviously got Spiddick, and then obviously you got Tom Brady helping run things. Like this is this is I can't believe I'm saying this, man. I've been impressed by what the Raiders have done, and now it's going to come down: can they get the quarterback right? The guy who can mesh with Chip Kelly. I mean, obviously, a lot of people are going to migrate to the possibility of Will Howard potentially being in play in the later rounds. Shedeur Sanders, if he's around when the Raiders pick at 6, or maybe they move up. Is Cam Ward somehow available if they can trade up or something like that, or if they try to make a trade, go do something in free agency potentially. But seriously, like Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly on the same staff in 2025. Holy shit. Holy shit. I mean, for Ohio State, they've got to figure out things in terms of the college ranks. But, Chip Kelly getting back into the NFL, this always felt like where it was going to go. The Raiders make a ton of sense. They do have a lot of work to do in terms of figuring out their offensive personnel. But they have a great tight end already in Brock Bowers. So that's one thing for sure. And we'll see how Pete Carroll wants to build this thing. He's been big on development. I don't give a shit about the age. He is a young old man, if that makes sense. So, but this was a great hire. Great coaching staff that they're building there. Like I said, Patrick Graham obviously being retained there as the Raiders defensive coordinator. And then you bring in Chip Kelly, an accomplished play caller. Yeah, there's been some questions about him as a head coach. But you know what? He got out of that business. He got away from UCLA. Maybe this is a path for him to getting an NFL head coaching position. I don't know if that's going to happen because it didn't work out with the Eagles. It didn't work out with the 49ers. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this shakes out for the Raiders. But all in all, in terms of the cycle that has come since, it's not really even the offseason yet because we still have the Super Bowl coming up in a week. I'm impressed with the Raiders. I really am. And the Raiders have to stand out a little bit because look at the division they're in. Like you got Patrick Mahomes, who's on his way to potentially being the GOAT of the NFL, and especially if he wins a third championship. That's right there. Justin Herbert and the Chargers are coming. Bo Nix and the Broncos are coming with Sean Payton. So the Raiders have got to keep pace. So it's going to be interesting to watch this team, sort of move forward. They've got some pieces in the building. You obviously Max Crosby on the defensive side of the ball. And then obviously Brock Bowers had a historic season at the tight end position as a rookie. And if not for Jaden Daniels and some of these quarterbacks, Brock Bowers might have been considered for offensive rookie of the year. It's not going to happen because it's a quarterback. Let's face it, everything's about the quarterback. But the key for them now, get the quarterback right. So if you're a Raiders fan, and I know there's a lot of Raiders fans here on this channel, Seriously, I've been so impressed with what this organization has done this offseason for them because you hire a Pete Carroll who is a great head coach. Yes, I know the optics of him being, 73 years old. I don't care. Start the foundation, potentially build your way towards it. And who knows, maybe, and I just thought of this just now. Maybe just maybe Chip Kelly signed on here. Pete Carroll's going to hold on to the job for a couple years, get the foundation going, and Chip Kelly's going to take over. What if that's the end game? I would totally sign up for that. Because you give Chip Kelly at least some time to get into an organization, get into a building as the offensive play caller, and then make him the head coach rather than, just thrust him into his positions. Like he had personnel power in Philadelphia, which didn't work out. And then Howie Roseman comes back and all of a sudden it works out. Like, listen, the Raiders are in a much better spot than they were about 4 weeks ago when Antonio Pierce, I didn't understand how he got the job. Like they've figured a lot of stuff out. So that's my big takeaway here on the Raiders. We'll have a lot of content related to the Super Bowl here on the channel. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.